like a small little country of China within our own country. And many people actually come here, especially on the weekends, to shop here to find the specialties and delicacies of China that you can't get anywhere else. So it's an interesting little shopping area. All right, we're going to continue straight down Columbus, but normally on the tour we would be turning into Stockton here, which is the neighborhood that Joe DiMaggio of baseball fame grew up in. Joe DiMaggio married Marilyn Monroe. He brought her here to his neighborhood church, which you'll see on the right here, the Church of Saints Peter and Paul, with the unfortunate address of 666 Filbert Street. Now that is the devil's number biblically, so they don't like to bring attention to that number. So you'll see 660 in front of the church, which is the parish office address. That's the one they prefer to use. But this is where Joe DiMaggio brought Marilyn Monroe to have their photos taken. They were not allowed to marry in the church because they were both divorced, so they married in our city hall. All right, a couple of blocks down here, we're going to see Lombard, the crooked street. If you look to the left, we're just going to get a quick glimpse right here. Larry will slow down as we cross Lombard, coming up here at the bottom of the little hill here. If you look to the left, this is Lombard Street coming up, and the 8 switchback turns that make up the crooked street coming down the side of that hill there, all the way up here on the left. See a couple of cars coming down Lombard, the crooked street. And we'll see that again later on the tour, but 28 degrees to that hill, steepness. Not the steepest in the city, but I think the steepest is 31. Alright, so we're going to be heading straight down Columbus here, taking us to the cannery, which is where our office is, and where we will begin our 10:30 tour to do the entire loop of the city. Now, besides the downtown loop, which is a 2-day ticket that allows you to hop on and off for 2 days, we do offer, some of you may have purchased the all tours ticket, which is 3 tours in 1 ticket. That would be the 2-day loop of the city, the Golden Gate Bridge tour, and the night loop. Now, our Golden Gate Bridge tour makes 2 stops. We stop at the Palace of Fine Arts, which is a beautiful structure that was designed by the architect Bernard Maybeck from the School of Architecture at UC Berkeley. The Palace of Fine Arts was designed as a centerpiece for the 1915 World's Fair. There was the World's Fair to commemorate the opening of the Panama Canal. So we do stop there for 10 minutes, and then we take you over the Golden Gate Bridge, stopping on the Marin County side for 10 minutes, come back over the bridge, take you through the Presidio, which was the first military garrison, Spanish military garrison, started in 1776, excuse me, a little further back, 1776 to protect our Mission Dolores, which was the 6th mission in a line of 21 missions that were built along the California coast. Today it was for many years an army base, even from the time of the Civil War. The Union soldiers trained there, as did the cavalry during the Civil War. And also it became a Navy or an army base for many, many years in contemporary times, and eventually was closed and turned into one of our national parks. So today it is a national park in the United States, and it is also a National Historical Landmark because many of the structures on the Presidio were built during the Civil War. So after we take you through the Presidio, we go up to the hills of the Pacific Heights neighborhood, which is a very affluent neighborhood. Became the affluent neighborhood after the 1906 earthquake destroyed what was the most affluent neighborhood, and that was Nob Hill. And then we come back to Fisherman's Wharf, so that's another hour-and-a-half tour. So if you'd like to purchase a ticket for that, you can do that as well. And then the night loop is a kind of a condensed version of the day loop, only it does not make stops other than one pickup at Union Square, and takes you to see the Painted Ladies around Alamo Square, and goes up to Nob Hill. It's a little bit different. Alright, so this is our main stopping and beginning point here. This is where you would pick up the bus for the Golden Gate Bridge tour, as well as the night loop here on the curb. Our office is right here, one of the yellow awnings. It says City Sightseeing for those of you who need to go in and redeem your vouchers. Larry and I will be going out at 10:30 again for our first city loop. And we will be doing the 12:30 Golden Gate Bridge Tour today if anybody would like to join us for that. Thank you.
It was just hopping. It was really, really fun. It was just
Brenda.
fun. Talk to people and it was really, really. I remember there's a huge line up here. And we found it by chance. You know. Thank you for. Well, I enjoyed juicing it.
What a civilized breakfast, eh?
Yeah.
Now, I gotta ask,
I paid over $1,000 for it, if I remember. Now you can get a camera that can do twice what this can do for half the price.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
Yeah.
unreal how technology changes so quickly.
I've had about 4 or 5 of them, and the first one I had was the one, the quarter pack. You put over your shoulder.
remember
That thing with the battery
Yeah.
and the tape thing, and it hooked up to the camera.
Big
It was
mother about
like
this
that.
size, yeah.
And by the time you got it hooked up and ready to and turned on, whatever you were going to film is gone. You know?
Yep.
And then I had another one that was smaller, and then I had, I think, the Sony, which was the last one, which was like $1,800 for the tape, you know.
That's probably the same one I got.
Yeah. It's a good camera.
It's a good
though.
camera. Still takes good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 8mm digital.
Yeah.
It was actually, we've had this. Wow, this is probably 20 years we've had it. Maybe not 20, but it was the first digital 8mm that came on the market.
Sony
So
make good
great.
machines.
Like,
I love Sony stuff.
but it's good.
Good quality. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've always had in cameras, except for video cameras, but I've always had Canons. I still have my old Canon SLR that I bought Brenda for his birthday when we went traveling, and now I have a Canon digital, and the Sony is still the old camera. But I'm a Panasonic guy for